What's good, everybody? Rhetorical question, life. My name is Heavy Bre, and today we have a special Bre-View for you. This will be the first Bre-View where I rate and review an album. Yeah, this is my first Bre-View for an album, okay? Now, and like, if you guys are one of those, and like, I'll be reviewing all kinds of music, man. I'll be reviewing like me. I'm more of a hip hop listener. I listen to a lot of hip hop. Hip hop is my thing. I like listening to hip hop. I listen to R&B, but in later years, I listen to all kinds of music, man. And I like most of the music I like to listen to is mostly hip hop. So for this first one, we are going to be doing our review on the rebirth of Slim Shady. Yeah, it's called The Death of Slim Shady, but this is the rebirth of Slim Shady, man. Like, if y'all haven't listened to this album yet, if you have listened to this album already, you know what I'm talking about, man. Because this movie, I mean, this is one of them albums where, like, everyone's like, oh, it's the death of Slim Shady, I'm killing him. Like, no, you're not, Marshall. No, you're not. Come on, man. You can't kill this guy. He's a part of who you are as a person. But we'll get into that in a minute. But like this album is about Eminem is trying to get canceled again. He's talking about all kinds of stuff. He's talking about like handicapped people, like LGBTQ people, like short people, mentally handicapped people, physically handicapped people. He's just talking about all kinds of stuff, but he's doing it in a way where it's like it's sarcasm, but he's also like, see, like, this album's kind of crazy. It's a crazy concept album because it's like Eminem is rapping, but it's also his alter ego Slim Shady rapping. And in the past albums, we all kind of like, thought like, oh, what's the difference? Eminem, like when Eminem's doing the crazy, out of his mind, like saying all kinds of offensive stuff and everything, that's Slim Shady. When he's just rapping and just spitting pure bars and hitting with great punchlines and everything, that's Eminem. I mean, you guys all know, you've been listening to him for a long time, but for those of you who don't know, like when Eminem's talking about like just, like real personal stuff, life problems and everything, and just going hard with his lyrics and stuff like that, that's Eminem. And when he says like some outlandish stuff, like talking about like just I don't know, making fun of chipmunks or making fun of animal lovers and the environment and all that, and just doing stuff to make people upset, that's Slim Shady. The instigator side of Marshall Mathers is Slim Shady. The pure lyricist side of Marshall Mathers is Eminem. And in this album, this is one of those albums that kind of like really just shows how these two guys are different. Same person, different personalities. And this album does a great job of describing that to us. And it seems like this whole album is like a battle for Marshall's soul. Like M and Shady are battling to see who's going to take control over Marshall. Who knows? That's the fun, and there's a lot of fun songs on this album. This album is like, well, let me talk about the beats real quick. Well, first off, the album's produced by Dre. Well, most albums produced by Dre. There's other producers on the album too. Eminem produces one song, really funny song that's like actually a throwback from his encore days. But Dre, once again, just proves why he's the GOAT. I don't know how long he's been working on this album. I don't know how much effort he put into this or how long they've been working on, him and Eminem have been working on this album. But Dre, like he cooked on this album, man. He cooked. Like the beats. One of the best beats on the album, in my personal opinion, is for Lucifer. Lucifer is like one of the hardest beats on the album. It's like the way it was made. It was just like it's that classic early 2000s, like almost West Coasty sound, sinister sound that Dre had like in the early 2000s and stuff like that, you know. And this whole album, like he brings back those fun hyped beats and everything, especially with Houdini. I don't know if that was him or that was Dre that produced it, but Houdini, the beat is just like it's just crazy. It has that nostalgia that you missed from the old like 2000s Eminem, you know. And that's what this whole album is. This whole album is really great for if you're a nostalgiac who loves the classic, you know, Eminem sound, you know, that Marshall Mathers LP, Slim Shady LP, on Eminem show encore sound, and like that's what it goes for. And like I know everyone's like, oh, he's just rehashing his old stuff. I mean, like, but like each album had its own personality though, and this song's like almost like it could have been a part of that series of like Eminem, you know, during his blonde hair phase, you know. It's what Deaths of Slim Shady is. And in fact, one of the songs on the album that stood out to me was Brand New Dance. And apparently this song was recorded or made during his encore time days, but because the song he's dissing like Christopher Reeves, he's poking fun at Christopher Reeves. And at the time, Christopher Reeves, for those of y'all who are too young to know who Christopher Reeves is, he was the second Superman. Okay, the first one was George Reeves, and then the second one was Christopher Reeves. I don't know if they were related, but Christopher Reeves was Superman from the 70s and 80s. He was like the guy who played Superman back in the day. You know, he did a movie with Richard Pryor and Terrence Stamp, Neil Before Zod, that guy. But Christopher Reeves was Superman until he had a terrible accident where he was like riding a horse and he fell off the horse and it broke his spine, and then he ended up becoming a quadriplegic, and he can't move his body, so he has to like kind of pretty much he can't move his body without any assistance, so he can't move. He's paralyzed with the neck down, which is terrible. But it's a terrible and tragic story, and very sad, you know, like, and very tragic unless Eminem makes it into an hilarious song, which he does. And this song is like, the song's called Brand New Dance, aka everybody do the Christopher Reeves, and which is like, oh my god, man, it's like this song brings me back to like Eminem's like Without Me, real Slim Shady, Hi, my name is Just Lose It, Slim Shady, Eminem, because like this song shows you that it's not Eminem, it's Slim Shady who's in this song. Like Slim Shady is pretty much like the guy who, the intrusive thought in Eminem's head, who just says, hey, you don't be funny? What, if we make fun of a quadriplegic guy? Oh, nah, man, that's not cool. But like, too late, I already wrote it. We're recording it. And then Eminem recorded it back in 2000 during the encore days. But because Christopher Reeves had just died, they had to cut the song from the album. And like Eminem puts, but like, and you know, it's been like 20 years since Christopher Reeves passed away, R.I.P. But so I think that's more than, you know how they say too soon? Well, I mean, 20 years is long enough to basically poke fun at somebody, even if it was a beloved actor who we all knew and loved. Well, then again, everybody who's young listening to the album doesn't even know who Christopher Reeves is, you know? I mean, unless they Google him or let's say Wikipedia him or something. And I'm not making fun of Christopher Reeves, like, but and like it was sad what happened to him and everything, but it's like a sense of humor, man. And that's the whole concept of this album is like, because the whole album is like Eminem. Slim Shady is trying to get Eminem canceled by attacking cancel culture and attacking everybody who's like basically crying about how this is unfair. You keep talking about that, like, you know, this whole album is about like it's just jokes. And like, and the album is Eminem saying, hey Slim, cut it out, and Slim saying stop being a bitch, and then they're pretty much just going back and forth and everything. And he's like, man, you used to be a beast, and now you're a punk, is what Slim's saying to M and everything. And it's like, you know, it's like Eminem kind of talks about poke fun how Eminem himself has tried to become a little bit more PC, like just focusing on lyricism and just focusing on like just being a clever artist, a clever rapper. And Slim's like, nah, man, we need to go back to being assholes. We need to go back to like just pretty much just being destructive and just like and crapping on everybody. And that's what this album is, man. Like, but you can tell that Eminem is battling it. Nah, man, like I'm not trying to do all that. Well, we are. We're gonna do it this way. And like, it's just a constant, never-ending battle between, like, this piece, like Eminem trying to be PC but being disrupted by, by Slim. And this whole album, like, it, like, kind of says, like, hey, man, look, listen, like, take a joke. Which is like, everybody's become so sensitive. We've become so sensitive as a society, And like, it's like people can't take jokes no more, man. It's like you're letting little things, like what people say about you, like, bother you. Like, look, people. There are a lot of jerks out there, man. There are horrible people out there, There are terrible people out there who say terrible things about people, who say and do terrible stuff. But if somebody's just joking around, it's like, take a damn joke, man. Like, I think most of the people who get offended nowadays by stuff, by like little things and like all this other stuff, a lot of these people, I could tell that a lot of these people didn't have any jokes when they were in school. I could tell that a lot of them used to get roasted, and then they would never have any comebacks, and they would just get in their feelings and cry about it and everything, and then they never learned how to, like, take a joke, or never learned how to, like, not get offended and be a little crybaby, and then they just grew up, and then they just became these sensitive little bitches, man. It's like I used to get roasted all the time as a kid. I got roasted, I got teased, I got made fun of because of my stutter. I got made fun of because people say I sound like Brian Gumble. One time somebody said that I look like Magic Johnson if the AIDS was working. Like, bro, like, I used to get roasted, dog. Like, and I learned how to basically roast people back by talking about their teeth, by talking about their clothes, by talking about how short they were or how tall they were. You freak. I used to talk about everybody, man. And like, you got to learn how to talk. Look, if someone's making fun of you, make fun of them back. Make fun of their teeth. Make fun of how big their nose is. Make fun of the fact that their girlfriend, like, cheated on them, like, multiple times. No holds barred, okay? Just roast, like, learn how to rank people, man. And like, a lot of these people don't know how to just take a joke and just not take themselves seriously, okay? I'm sorry if, like, I'm sorry if, like, if somebody spilt, like, hot grits on your face, and now you look like the Phantom of the Opera, and you can never get over it. Like, I knew a guy who had hot grits poured on his face one time, and dude, and like, his face was fucked up for a very long time, but guess what? He learned how to roast people back. And he had some of the best jokes. You can call him Two-Face, and he'll call you Killer Croc. He'll make fun. He'll say how your mama's back looks so burly that the bitch should be called Bane. Like, he used to, like, he could roast people back. Okay, I think people just need to stop, like, taking themselves so seriously and, like, learn how to basically take a joke. There are a lot of mean people out there, and you get to know how to deal with those people. And, like, Slim used to get bullied, picked on, made fun of, teased, called a loser because he was a white guy trying to rap. And look at him, Look, if anybody can overcome depression, drug addiction, being bullied, having your baby mama cheat on you, and getting fired from different jobs, and like having a mom who's, like, mentally unstable and everything, who makes your life miserable, and like dealing with abusive stepdads, and still go out to become one of the greatest rappers of all time, then I'm pretty sure that your soft asses can handle, like, a little bit of like a little jab or whatever, man. It's nothing, man. Just learn how to take a joke, learn how to roast people, and talk shit back to people when they make fun of you, like I did. And but yeah, let me get off my tangent. Music videos for this album. Like, we'll talk about music videos in my Bre-Views. I'm talking about music videos, if these albums had music videos. And thus far, this album has 2 music videos. One is Houdini, which is, like, if y'all probably heard it already. It's like the one where Eminem is, like, back in his, like, rap boy Robin outfit. Like, it's pretty much a sequel to the Without Me video, and like M is like like in that video, M is kind of like, you know, just doing his class. It's like Eminem now, like battling it out with his former self, Slim Shady, who got into a time machine and made it to the present, and he's just basically attacking countercult. He's attacking like cancel culture, and you know, like just like he's baffled by what the hell is going on nowadays, and he's just kind of like talking about how nowadays everything is just so, you know, and and he like the album, like the song, the album, well, the music video takes me back to Slim's old days when he used to be, you know, back in his Shady days, you know, his Without Me's, Real Slim Shady, Just Lose It's, my name is, and Guilty Conscience days, and you know, like that's one of them. This one of them classic albums. The other music video was Toby, which is a song off the album. It's Eminem featuring Baby Tron and Big Sean. Oh, by the way, all the features on this album, like, they all did their thing, man. There's this one dude, this one song called Head Honcho. There's this guy named Easy Mill, Ease Mill or Easy Mill, and like I don't know if this guy is like Filipino. All I know is that like at one point in the song, this guy goes from rapping in English to rapping into like sliding into Tagalog. I don't speak Tagalog. I don't speak Tagalog, or nor do I understand it, but I know how it sounds. So I knew, like, yo, man, this guy's some fire, man. Like, and like, I've been getting into a lot of rap where like the rappers are rapping in Spanish, they're rapping in Portuguese, they're rapping in like they're rapping in Swahili. There's people rapping in like French. I got into like some French hip hop, and like, I've been getting to I got on Duolingo. Most of the languages I'm trying to learn on Duolingo are because there are rappers from those countries who speak those languages that I want to learn what they're saying, you know? Shoot, I'll be listening to like some of these rappers, and I'm like, yo, like AA, there's a guy named AA Anuel. I wasn't stuttering, I was just trying to say AA Anuel. He's a Spanish reggaeton rapper, and like I want to know what the hell he's saying. You know, I started learning Spanish so I can know what some of the Spanish rappers that I listen to are saying in their songs, and I get the gist of what they're saying. You know, I'm like, oh, he's sliding on that. It's like I was like, yo, this song go hard. Then once I learned a little bit of Spanish, like, oh, stop. Hey, yeah, man. Like then you finally get it and everything. Like, and now I know how the rest of the world feels when they listen to like American songs and they hear the music, they hear the beats, they hear the lyrics, and they can rap along or sing along to the lyrics, and half of them don't even know what the hell these people are saying. How you can be a fan and be in Japan, you know a little bit of English, but you don't know exactly what Michael Jackson is saying, but you feel what he's saying. And then later on, when you learn English, you're like, oh my God, it sounds way more beautiful than I thought it was. You know, like, that's kind of how it is. But like, yeah, man, like all the features on this album, they all did their thing, man. Like Bizarre returns and everything. Like Big Sean, Baby Tron on the Toby track, they did their thing. Skylar Grey is on the album again. Like, you know, Eminem, every time Eminem does a song with Skylar Grey, it's always a classic. It's always a classic. It's always great and everything. I don't even know. I think she has an album out. I don't know, but like all I know is when her and Eminem get on the track together, they always kill it, man. They're always killing it, bro. And like, he also has a song with not Meatloaf, with Jelly Roll, which is the last song on the album. And that's a great song. It's probably one of the best songs on the album. You know, like anytime Eminem talks about his personal life, talks about his family and everything, it's always a banger. When Eminem gets personal and talks about his kids or talks about like just his personal life and everything, it's always a banger. You know, and like, you know, that's why I like artists who aren't afraid to be vulnerable in their music and talk about what's going on. That's probably some of the best songs on the album is when Eminem is being vulnerable and talking about real stuff. You know. Except for when he's making fun of Christopher Reeves. Speaking of which, Guilty Conscience 2. Well, I heard there's gonna be a Guilty Conscience 2. At first I was like, and then like, okay, now he's just reaching. First he's the Slim Shady, the album and the name, the death of Slim Shady. He was already reaching with that. And then he said Guilty Conscience 2. I was like, ugh. But then after listening to this whole album and then listening to Guilty Conscience 2, I was like, in fact, Guilty Conscience 2 was the first official song that I heard off the album. Not excluding Houdini and Toby, Guilty Conscience 2 was the first one. In fact, Guilty Conscience 2 was what got me to listen to the whole album when it first dropped on Thursday. He says it was going to be released and available to buy on Friday, but M dropped the album on his YouTube page like Thursday night, and I spent the whole night listening to the album, bro. I listened to it twice. That's how good it was. That's how good this album is. And I'm already biased because like I'm a stan. I'm a huge Eminem fan, bro. Like he's one of them. He's easily in my top 10 of favorite rappers. So like when like there are certain rappers, if they drop an album, I'm gonna listen to the whole album. You know, Nas, when he drops, I'm gonna listen to it. K-Dot, I'm gonna listen to it. J. Cole, I'm gonna listen to it, despite what recently happened and like, you know, apologies and all that. Like, you know, like I still listen to his music, you know, like, and like Might Delete Later was still one of the best EPs that was dropped this year. I don't know why he deleted it. That was stupid. But like, and then like, you know, if Run the Jewels are gonna drop an album, I'm gonna listen to that album. You know, shoot. If who else? Who's another artist out right now who recently came out? Who's the shit? Like Eminem's like in that list of rappers, like Ice Cube. Cube's like in his 50s and shit like that. Like he's too old to be talking about drive-bys and game banging. But his last album was actually really good, man. Like his last album, Arrest the President. That album was. It was actually really good, man. Like a lot of social commentary and a lot of like, you know, like Cube bringing his textbook, you know, lyricism to the game. Like he's one of the goats, man. He's one of the goats. You know, if Scarface would drop an album tomorrow, I'm listening to that album. I'm playing that album back to back. So yeah, man. Like, but Eminem's like one of those artists who, like, if he drops, I'm gonna listen to the album. I'm probably listen to it probably every day for a whole week. And that's what I do. When new artists that I like drop new stuff, I always listen. If Wu-Tang dropped tomorrow or dropped tonight, Forget My Sleep, I'm listening to Wu-Tang's new album. Even though their albums haven't been great since Iron Flag. Everyone's like, oh no, like everyone's like the W was their last good album. I liked Iron Flag. I don't care what anybody else said, man. Iron Flag was good. Sure, especially the Pinky Ring, especially that Pinky Ring joint. That song went hard, man. And that one joint that they had where Flavor Flav shows up at the end of the song and everything. Him and Method Man are going back and forth talking about stuff. Like that was a cool song. That was a cool album, man. People, like for those of you who are true Wu fans, go back and listen to Iron Flag. It wasn't that bad, man. Shoot. In fact, I think it was just as good as the W. If I'm gonna be honest. But that's an entirely different topic. If I was gonna rank this album in Eminem's catalog, I would say that it's almost as like I would say it's on the same level as Encore. Dare I say it's on the same level as Encore? Because like, you know, like just like as far as like bringing back that nostalgia factor, it reminds me of the Encore era. In fact, it even has one song from the Encore era, you know. And then this song takes you back to blonde-haired Eminem, to Super Saiyan Eminem, Slim Shady era. And that's why this album is so good, because it brings back that nostalgia factor. But it also showcases Eminem's, like, you know, how hard Eminem's been going since Kamikaze, you know, because his Kamikaze album was like him, like, you know, just showcasing how hard he is as a lyricist. Also, like, you know, his like music to be murdered by, which was actually way better than Kamikaze, man. I think Music to be Murdered By was way better than Kamikaze. Everyone, if y'all haven't heard Music to be Murdered By, side A and side B, then go back and listen to those albums. It's like the whole album are a vibe. And but Death of Slim Shady, I would say that it's on the same level as Encore, almost on the same level as the Slim Shady LP, because due to the lyricism, M's lyricism has gotten way better over the years. But like the content in the album, and this album is almost on par with Slim Shady LP. It's still below Eminem's Show and Marshall Mathers LP, but it's as good as Encore, you know, in my opinion, you know, because Encore had a lot of hits. This whole album, like, majority of the songs on this album are really hard, man. Lucifer, Antichrist, Habit, Road Rage, Brand New Dance, Toby, Somebody Save Me, Temporary, and what was the other one that was also a good one? Oh, Guilty Conscience too. Like, the whole album, bro, this album is a banger, man. This album is a banger. And I wish Trouble, the one song Trouble, it was a skit. It was half skit, half song. I wish it was a lot longer, because the beat for that was just nasty, man. I was like, bro, this beat needs to be longer. This song needs to be longer, bro. But they cut it short so that it can transition into the next song. And there's a lot of bangers on this album, you know. I would say this song has very few fillers. It has very few fillers. Bad One was cool. Head Honcho went hard. Even the fillers, like Head Honcho, like is a filler, but it's a great filler, you know, because like I would have never have known of Easy Mill if it wasn't for like this feature and everything. Like I haven't even heard Baby Tron before, you know. I know like Baby Tron's been out here in the game for a while, but I don't really know much of him. But like, you know, it showcased, after hearing him on this album, I'm probably gonna go listen to some of his stuff. Him, Easy Mill. I might go see if Skylar Grey actually has an album. I think she has an album. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go listen to some of their stuff, man. Like M over here putting me back onto a personal favorite of mine on this album. A personal favorite of mine though is Road Rage. I like Road Rage, man. Like, cause like I said, like M, like on that album you could tell like it's Slim Shady and Eminem is Slim and M. And like, and on this album, you could tell like what song is mostly Shady influenced and what's Eminem influenced. And I think Road Rage is like a good combination of Eminem and Slim Shady, because it's Slim and M, you know. And like Bad One, Habit, Lucifer, Evil, another song on the album called Evils, it's kind of underrated, are like, you know, it shows like Eminem and Slim Shady combining together to make a dope song. And that's what this whole album is, man. It's just like, it's not just an Eminem album or a Slim Shady album, it's a Slim and M album. And it's Eminem featuring Slim Shady, Slim Shady featuring Eminem. Great concept album. But final verdict. So if y'all listen to like if y'all listen to and watch my other Bre-Views, I always do like a what I'll do is I usually do like, I rate my reviews based off of I based them off of either like, you know, go see this movie, watch this movie at some point. If you can't go see it in theaters, watch it at some point, or rent it later if you want to, or like just, you know, whatever, just like stream it. This album, for my music reviews, I'm gonna do a repeat, vibe, listen, or skip. Repeat means this album is a classic. This album is a classic. You could play it on repeat. It's great. Like 10, 20 years, whether it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you could play this album again and it's still as good as the first time you listen to it. Vibe means that this is the album that like, a vibe means that this album is like, this is one of the albums that brings back nostalgia, you know. It makes you like, it puts you in a certain mood. You can listen to it anytime you're feeling this way. You can listen to it anytime you're feeling that way, you know. Like, for example, like Adele makes a lot of, like, I mean, depending on who you are and what mood you're in, it's a vibe. But I mean, some like her first three albums are repeats, but like some of her albums are like, the majority of her albums are the vibe. You know, if you're feeling this way, you're feeling that way, it's a vibe. And then like listen means listen to this album. This is a good listen. You know, you might want to listen to this. You might not like. It's definitely worth listening to. Is why if it gets a listen review. And then the final like rating is skip it. But this album is neither of the last three. This album is definitely a repeat, man. For me, it's a repeat. If you are a hip hop stan, if you're a rap fan, if you're the kind of person who just loves hip hop, if you're a fan of Eminem, if you are a stan or you're not a stan but you like Eminem, like this album's for you. If you're not the kind of person who's sensitive, who's gonna be like, oh my god, you can't believe you said that about the. If you're not one of those people, man, this album's for you, and this is definitely a repeat. But if you're not an Eminem fan, then this album's definitely a vibe. You know, there's a few songs on here that you could definitely listen to when you're playing video games or when you're working out or when you're just basically like, two of them are party songs like Brand New Dance, Houdini, Brand New Dance, and Antichrist are definitely like songs you could play at a party. You know, I know Antichrist, like some people here who are Christians or or deeply religious, or like Antichrist, a party song. Just listen to it, man. It's a party song. Oh, and Habit, you could definitely play Habit at a party too. Yeah. So yeah, like this album's definitely a repeat. It's a repeat. It's a combination of a repeat and also a vibe. If you like rap, if you're a rap fan but not really a big Eminem fan, then it's definitely a vibe. But if you are like an Eminem fan and you like listening to Eminem and you're a huge fan of Eminem, this is definitely a repeat. You know, I think that honestly, this album makes up for you know, like his Revival, Relapse, and like all of his re-albums. I still like Recovery. I don't care if anybody says Recovery was still a good album. I don't give a damn. Like that was an Eminem album, you know, where Eminem's just being mature and just displaying his lyricism. Everyone says that Recovery was too poppy, man. Get out of here, man. That album was a great album. I don't care what anybody says, man. If anything, I like Recovery more than Encore. And it's a hot take. I like Recovery more than Encore because like you can only talk about doing pills and being drunk and like, you know, and disrespecting women and just dissing people for so long before it gets kind of played out. And like Recovery was Eminem for the first time basically just being mature, showing his growth, and actually just rapping and just being a lyricist. And like, yeah, some of the songs were personal. Like if you go back and listen to Recovery, man, that was a great album, man. And everyone keeps saying like, oh, I like Eminem with the blonde hair and all of that. No, man, like when he did Marshall Mathers LP2, I thought that this album right here was gonna be like Marshall Mathers LP 2.5, and it wasn't. It was way better than that. It was better than Revival. It was better than Relapse. Even though I just said Recovery was a great album and I liked it, this album is better than Recovery in my opinion. It definitely was better than Kamikaze. You know, I still like music. I still like the Music to Be Murdered By albums because they were just great. This album and the Music to Be Murdered By albums were really good. You know, like we're on the same level. So yeah, this is definitely a repeat album, and a vibe. If you just like regular rap music, this is a vibe. So check it out. The Death of Slim Shady. Check out this album. It is definitely a banger. You will enjoy it. Peace and blessings. Have a prosperous day.